Hi. I think it's safe to say that most of us have at least some kinds of irrational fears. Some of these fears are so strong they get classed as phobias. Now, we all know the really common ones, like the fear of heights or death or small spaces. But then there are a bunch of really weird specific phobias as well, like the fear that a duck is watching you, a fear of numbers, fear of the color yellow. It's easy to laugh at these phobias and say that the people suffering from them are just overdramatic, unless you also have a weird irrational phobia. Now, I am going to ask that you do not laugh at me for this, at least not too much. I have coprolaminaphobia, or simpler, a fear of coins, and other small, mostly metal objects like screws or even buttons. Don't laugh, I can explain. Okay, well, I can't really explain. It's as strange as it sounds like. I think the first instance of noticing this attitude of mine was when my older sister lost her first tooth. Our mother told us that the tooth fairy would bring money for her, and I, being the spoiled little sister I was, wanted in on it. Okay, I guess the tooth fairy might bring something for you too. And so came morrow, and my sister found a nice golden pile of coins under her pillow. I found one coin, and at first I was excited, but then something was off. The coin had this weird aura. Suddenly I did not want this thing in my hands or anywhere near my bed and practically threw it at my sister. Here, you can have this. Oh, free money. Ever since then, I've noticed I have very irrational reactions to coins and the aforementioned buttons too. If relatives would try to offer me money, I would hide. If they had buttons in their clothes, I would refuse to hug them. If my dad was fixing something and needed me to bring a screw to him, I could not do it. And losing teeth was a nightmare for me, because now the tooth fairy was my enemy. I would cry not because of the lost tooth, but because of the inevitable fate that the fairy would bring my worst nightmare right here in my safest of places. Of course, I could have tried explaining this fear to my mom, but I don't think she would have understood. I mean, for most kids, the best part about losing a tooth was the money, right? And it didn't just end in childhood. I still struggle to this day. For example, when someone's left some change on the table, I'd rather starve than have my meal anywhere near it. Speaking of change, paying with cash is horrible not just because of the fact I have to speak with a stranger, but also because I have to willingly exchange my bills for coins. I really want to say keep the change, but that's not really a part of my culture, so it might look suspicious, I don't know. Oh, and piercings and metal necklaces are not my thing either. If someone with a lip piercing tried to kiss me, I might just vomit. It's nothing personal. Flesh and metal just don't mix well in my brain. I think my phobia might have something to do with the fact that I'm autistic. Autistic people get overwhelmed by certain things neurotypicals can't understand. For some of us, it might be the feeling of denim fabric on one's skin or the texture of oat porridge, while for me it happens to be the feel and especially the smell of coins. And the thing is, I understand how stupid it sounds. I'm very self-aware about it, but I just can't control it. That's the thing with phobias, you can't affect them. While I've gotten older, however, I've learned to live with it and take precautions, like wearing gloves while paying with cash and avoiding clothes with buttons. It all sounds silly and overdramatic, I know, but it's reality for me. I think it's kind of weird how, if someone suffers from a fear of flying, everyone pats them on the back and tells them, it's okay, but if I say I can't handle small metal objects, I get laughed at. One phobia is not more valid than the other, we all suffer equal amounts, just caused by different triggers. But honestly, at this point, I laugh at myself too. It's just so incomprehensibly stupid to have a meltdown over the fact there happens to be coins on a table. I just wish I could be normal about it, but something in me is always on edge. But such is life, we can't all be programmed to work normally. I just hope we can learn to understand each other better and maybe find ways we can accommodate people with specific triggers. I know it's dumb to expect everyone to know what you're going through, but a little compassion and sympathy can go a long way. In the meantime, I'll be happily paying with card, thanks.